Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to midfield as the captains for both teams will meet for today's coin toss.
It's a beautiful, cool evening on the campus of St. Xavier University, and an even better evening for NAIA college football. Good evening, everyone. Ron Luce from Broussard Deaton Memorial Field joining you tonight for this top 15 battle in the NAIA. The number 5 ranked Indiana Wesleyan Wildcats pay a visit here to the number 15 ranked St. Xavier University Cougars at Deaton Field. The Cougs began the season number 13 in the polls, but a dominant victory over University of St. Francis, Indiana in their first week, and a narrow loss a week ago to the number 6 Marion Knights was not enough to prevent a fall in the polls. As for IWU, however, they begin the season 2-0 under first-year head coach Andrew Rode, and will look to improve to 3-0 under the first-year leader. A gorgeous night here at Broussard Deaton Memorial Field for the home opener of the SXU season. We noted the last 2 weeks, Cougars on the road paid a visit to the Blue Cougars, as we call them in these parts around SXU. In week 1, a dominant 45-28 win over them, and last week against the Marion Knights down in Indianapolis. Narrow loss, 28-21 was your final there. Now the Cougars look for win number 2 and win number 1 at home this season against a very strong Indiana Wesleyan program, as we noted, under their first-year head coach. Andrew Rode hailing to Indiana Wesleyan University via Morningside. He was the offensive coordinator there for 3 seasons, 2020 to 2022. And before that, spent about 5 years with the program up in Ann Arbor, Concordia University. And as we noted, a perfect start to his tenure now as a first-time head coach with the Wildcats. It's a very different story on the Cougars sideline, however. Head coach Mike Feminis in his 25th season at the helm of Cougars football, a cumulative 206-78 record for the 25th-year head coach. And for those close to the SXU program will know that this coaching staff littered with alumni of the program. Defensive coordinator Billy McEwen played here at St. Xavier under head coach Mike Feminis. Receiver coaches Danny Fitzgerald and Daniel Ladd also playing here as a part of the program.
Tonight's concession stand sponsor, Angelo's Stuffed Crust Pizza.
It is a gorgeous night here for some football. Both teams on their respective sidelines. 15 minutes on the clock here.
Mexican Independence Day tonight, too, for everybody celebrating out there.
We're very excited for the season ahead. Cougs will be on the road next week for those already thinking about the next game here. Or pardon me, Cougs are home next week. Ignore me. 2 weeks from now, Cougars are back on the road. I hope you join us for that one. A good old classic noon kickoff here at Broussard Deaton Memorial Field. It'll be against Madonna University a week from today. Cougs won the toss, selected to defer to the second half. The lefty Peyton Bennis will get ready to send this one into the night. Wildcats set up to return here. Back to return number 24, Neil Campbell, and number 2, Isaac Smith for the visitors. Bennis on the approach. The kick is away, and we're underway with this first home opener of the 2023 season as Campbell with a head of steam and is tripped up right around the 30-yard line. A host of Cougars in the vicinity, and the Wildcats will take the field. Xander Stokes, starting quarterback for this Indiana Wesleyan team. Number 16, off to a good start to the year, 7 passing touchdowns. Just 1 interception so far with 411 yards. 53% completion. There's the handoff to the running back. And he'll get just a few. That's number 14, Dadarian Williams, the senior.
Dadarian Williams.
Gain of about 3 yards. It'll be 2nd and 7 now for the Wildcats. Tight end in the game, number 41, Tristan Hayes. He's to the near side of the field. 2 receivers join him as well as he motions out wide. The snap. Quick toss to Smith on the outside, but it filled beautifully by the Cougars. That's the safety, number 17, Tyler Barnett, with the big hit. Beautiful play there from Barnett. Immediately on the bubble screen to Smith. Barnett came flying from his safety position to make the tackle. No gain. Maybe about a yard, if any gain at all. 3rd and 6 coming up now for the Wildcats. In the gun is Stokes. Oh, and a false start will be called on the running back to Darian Williams. Wildcats tried to get the Cougars with a hard count, unsuccessful as it backfires with the false start penalty. And with the 5-yard walk-off, that'll make it 3rd and 11 now. So 3rd and manageable becomes 3rd and long for the Wildcats. 13:47 to still go here in this first quarter, very early on. Officials positioning the football now on the near hash. Right hash going left to right from us up top. 3rd and 11. Stokes in the gun, 2 receivers to the far side, tight end in motion. There's the snap. Stokes looking downfield, coming to the near side. It's intercepted! Ron Carroll with the pick! That's his first of the year. And just like that, the Cougars don't need 4th down to get the football back. Ron Carroll with the big interception.
Look to be number 17, Tyler Barnett on the pick.
Officially, you could argue that the Cougs might have gotten away there with a bit of a hold. Not called by the officiating crew, as that ball was intended, it looked like, for Smith. Good recognizing play by Ron Carroll. Ron Carroll, Tyler Barnett, a pair of senior safeties for these Cougars. Led the defensive secondary a year ago, and they do so here. Here's Pringle on the jet sweep. Nearly wrapped up, but gets around the tackle out to the far sideline. A lot of hard work there for about a single yard, and that's number 6, your leading receiver, Justin Pringle, to get the offense started. Well, for the Cougar fans that have followed this team through 2 weeks, you'll notice a different face at quarterback this evening. Number 7, Aiden Voss, unfortunately done for the season. So it is Stuart Ross's show as the starting quarterback. Another jet sweep pitch, but this time the DB gets there. That's number 2, Clayton Mosher, the outside linebacker. And a huge loss. Looks like a loss of about 5, maybe 6. 3rd and long here coming up now for the Cougs. It'll be 3rd and about 14. Ross is in the gun, 2 backs in the backfield. Looks like Plunkett and Amari Venerable. 2 receivers to the far side. Pringle, the near side receiver. Ross with the snap. A little bit of pressure coming. There's the handoff to Plunkett, and respectable gain there on 3rd down, but Cougars just trying to avoid catastrophe there with the handoff, and that'll make it 4th and about 11 for the Cougs, and we'll likely see the punt team here. Conservative play calling on the first drive here from offensive coordinator Mark Yannel.
Number 2 for the Wildcats.
Back to punt is number 13, Joe Pacelli. Pacelli, one of 3 players that handle punting duties here for the Cougars. You might see Justin Pringle or Matthew Chavers in that role tonight as well. There's the snap. It's clean. Pacelli gets a kickoff. Nice spiraling kick is handled by Campbell. Campbell to the 20, darts upfield, makes a move, and is hit immediately.
Punt taken at the 10.
Nice hit there from the Cougars.
Returned about the 20,
That was number
28,
Alex Art, sophomore DB from Round Lake Beach, Illinois.
Holding. Return team number 51. 10-yard penalty.
And a 10-yard penalty there for a hold against the Wildcats will back them up further in their own territory. So it'll be 1st and 10 officially And the ball will be spotted on their own 12, so a beautiful flip of field position by the Cougars. .11:39 here left in the first quarter. Stuart Ross going back to the quarterback. Can't even use the word controversy. The quarterback situation that's developed for the Cougars. Ross was a 2-year starter here, and Aiden Voss, don't get those two confused, folks, came in this year, won the starting job in camp. Had some success the last 2 weeks, albeit a number of turnovers. 3 wide to the near side here for the Wildcats on 1st and 10. Ball officially is on the 13-yard line. In the gun, nobody in the backfield with Stokes. Drops back, clean pocket. He'll step up and start to take off on the run and delivers a beautiful strike to his receiver. That's number 81, Caden Curry, on the receiving end. And the junior will help convert for a quick first down. Beautiful throw on the run there by Stokes. We noted the senior off to a strong start in this year's campaign. Bunch to the near side. In the gun, Williams in the backfield. Quick screen to Curry once again. He breaks through the first level, and a big hit is laid by Ron Carroll after a respectable gain. Beautiful blocking on the outside as well by the Wildcats. Opened up a gaping hole there for Curry to get upfield. And it is a first down, so fresh set of downs and new chains for the Wildcats. Motion from the receiver across to the far side. Stokes, handoff to Williams. Williams cutting inside, makes a nice move there, and he'll pick up about 5. Strong gain on first down for Darian Williams, and Williams has been all over the place for this Wildcat team so far this year. 32 rushing attempts, 170 yards, and 2 touchdowns on the ground coming into this evening, but also 8 catches for 72 yards and 2 touchdowns through the air. 2nd and 5, pistol set, handoff to Williams. Gets to the line, might have gotten 2 before he's swallowed up by the Cougars defensive unit. Wholesale changes on the defensive line coming for SXU. Big third down and 5. Or pardon me, that is 3rd and 3 from the 50. 2 to the near side, tight end as well. There's the handoff to Williams. Williams cuts up field. Generous field position. It might require a measurement. We'll see where they spot him. Instead, it's a fresh set of downs according to the far side official. So it will be first down Wildcats. Wildcats moving the ball effectively on this second offensive drive. After the interception on the first drive by Ron Carroll. Quarterback Xander Stokes has settled in nicely. Receivers all to the far side. Near side bunch for the Cats. Looking downfield, Stokes delivers a bullet that's tipped off the hands and falls incomplete. Ball intended for number 11, Levi Tidwell, with the senior receiver unable to handle it cleanly.
Terry Elias for the Cougars was there, 6-foot sophomore.
Strong throw there from Stokes despite the incompletion. Pistol set. We have a whistle. Not sure as to why.
Game clock operator. Please reset the game clock to 9:05.
And we have a game clock
will be at 25.
issue, so 9:05 officially on the clock. As we wait for the clock to get set, it'll be a pistol formation. Strong side to the near side of the field, tight end 2 receivers. 2nd and 10 for the Wildcats. Motion. There's the snap coming out to the tight end here on the near side. Makes a move, but Cougars get there quickly. Not much of a gain for Hayes.
Stokes pass complete.
Wrapped up by the Cougars defensively. It looked like Finn Brandon might have been in on the tackle.
17, Tyler Barnett.
So now they'll flip the formation. Strength to the far side. 3rd and 8 for the Wildcats. Pistol set. Williams on the handoff. He'll bounce outside. Barnett, big stiff arm from Williams. And he'll get to the far sideline and out of bounds. bold call from the Wildcats to run the football on 3rd and 8. But confidence in their big work back and bell cow Williams. Mean stiff arm as well to pick up the first. Pistol set once again. Stokes hands off to Williams. Williams up the gut. Following that left hash up the field, gains about 5.
Williams picks up about 6.
Wildcats with a big offensive line. This unit, no one under 260 pounds. Everybody 6 foot and bigger. And this unit right now moving the football effectively on the ground. Gun for the Wildcats. Williams to the near side. There's the fake handoff and the throw outside. It is caught by Curry. Wrapped up immediately, however, by number 21, Kevin Countryman. But the catch is enough for a fresh set of downs, and these Wildcats continue to march down the field.
The Cougars.
Cougars defense getting gashed right now up the middle. This running game very effective here for the Wildcats on this second offensive drive. 2 receivers split to each side, and there's a double motion. A pair of tight ends join the formation on the line. Tidwell in motion on the far side. Pistol set. Williams gets the handoff. Williams with a head of steam and lowers the boom. He'll be tackled right at the chain marker. It will be a first down. Worth noting, this is not a goal-to-go situation. First down is technically the 1-yard line for the Wildcats. Stokes, high snap, handled, but Williams gets the ball on the handoff. And this time the Cougars are ready for him. Up the middle, it appears handful of names in there. Ryan Butler among the names for the Cougars. In on the stop. 2 tight ends set, 2 receivers to the near side. Still shotgun with Stokes. He's joined in the backfield by running back Isaiah Gibbs. Check with me play to the sideline. 6:50 and counting on the game clock here in this first quarter. Wildcats threatening inside the red zone. Stokes, handoff to Gibbs. Gibbs gashing up the right side and is able to gain a few before he's taken down.
Tripped up by number 9 for the Cougars.
Finn Brandon, as well as a handful of other players in on the action as well.
5 yards to go.
Appears Nico Iriarte involved in that tackle as well. Oaklawn Community High School product. 2 to the far side. 3rd down, Wildcats. Motion into a fullback set is the tight end. There's the handoff to Gibbs. He leans forward but will not get it. It'll be 4th down. Good defensive stand from the Cougars. And we'll find out in just a moment if they're going to go for it or not. But no kicker on the field. It looks like the Wildcats will go for it. 4th down and 2. Heavy package in for the visitors. A pair of tailbacks. It's Darian Williams at the very back of the formation. He gets the handoff up the left side. And he's just short, but it should be a first down as he's inside the 1-yard line. So the gutsy call from Andrew Road and company on the far sideline pays off. Fresh set of downs. Now it is goal to go here from the 1-yard line. Wildcats looking to punch it in. Heavy package still in the game. Williams gets the handoff. Follows his blockers. Virtually untouched. Touchdown, Wildcats. Darian Williams with his 3rd rushing touchdown of the young 2023 campaign. And with 5:17 left on the clock in this first quarter, it is the visitors drawing first blood. Looking to make it a 7-0 game with the PAT coming. Josh Clifton, number 17, the kicker, also serves as the Wildcats punter. He'll get the hold from backup quarterback Chase Bradman. Snap, hold is down, kick is up, and it is good. 7-0 Wildcats here at Broussard Deaton Memorial Field for the Cougars home opener.
7-0 Wildcats.
Only the 3rd offensive drive of this game. Talk about holding it down from a possession time standpoint.
September 19th in lacrosse.
That was a very, very long drive
Trinity Christian, September 19th at the Shannon Center, 7 p.m.
for the Wildcats.
Men's soccer's at Viterbo University, Wednesday, September 20th in lacrosse.
And they'll get ready to receive the kick here.
St. Ambrose on Saturday.
If you're joining us late, welcome. It's a beautiful night for football here at Broussard Dayton Memorial Field. Beautiful night on the campus of St. Xavier University. A little bit of rain before the game today has made it a very blissful high 60s right now for kickoff.
Davenport, beautiful Davenport, Iowa.
Good crowd on hand as well here for the home opener. Number of fans still tailgating and hanging out in the parking lot if you're listening along with us. Hello. Clifton will get ready to boot this away for the Wildcats. Cougars will look to answer their long touchdown drive capped off by Darian Williams. Short kick handled by Bruce Pendleton. Pardon me, that's Pringle. Pringle takes it up the field. He'll cross the 40 into the 42, it appears, is where he's taken down. Strong return for Justin Pringle, who is the reigning special teams player of the MSFA Midwest. Last week against Marion had a kick return for a touchdown, 100 yards. Pringle been a multi-use threat for the Cougars over the years, running the football, catching the football, even throwing the football. And certainly in the return game as well. 5:09 on the clock. Ross in the gun with two backs. Three to the far side. Handoff to Venerable left. Venerable cuts up. Higgs one hit, takes another before he's dragged down.
Amari Venerable.
It looks like
he picked up by
Isaac Abio, defensive end, in there on the tackle. Also appears number 5, Luke Bays. Starting linebacker was in on the play as well. Old full house look here for the Cougars. Oh, and the snap is dropped by Ross, but picks it up and throws it away. It looked like a wheel route was coming there. Number 85, Ronnie Foster, the intended target on the far side. Foster was just never ready for that ball. Ross got it away in desperation.
Correction, second down. Third down and 3.
This will be 3rd and 3 here for the Cougars after the incompletion. Venerable joins Ross in the backfield. In the gun, 3 to the far side and bunch. There's the snap. Ross rolling out right. Has a little pressure in his face, and he'll just throw it away. Good coverage downfield from the Wildcats, working that far half of the field.
I'll bring up 4th and short for the Cougars.
And it'll be 4th and 3 here from their own territory, just narrowly in their own territory. Ball on the 49-yard line, and we'll see the punt unit come out for the offense. 2 offensive drives for the Cougars. Have yet to pick up a first down. Play of the game so far for SXU, the Ron Carroll interception on Indiana Wesleyan's first offensive drive. They answered that with a rushing touchdown from Darian Williams. Here is Pringle as the punter. We mentioned the multiple looks, and it's a fake. Pringle takes off up the left side, lowers the shoulder, and that's going to be a first down. That's why they use a multitude of punters. Allows for opportunities to take advantage of a return team. And that'll be the first down of the evening for the Cougars, and it comes via a little trickery.
Ball at the 46-yard line of the Wildcats.
Nice run there from Pringle. And that'll be enough, as we noted, for the first. 3 and bunch to the far side. Receiver in motion, it's Foster. Ross hands off to Venerable up the gut. And he is met immediately
picked up maybe a yard
by Indiana Wesleyan. That's number 7, the defensive tackle, Caleb Williams. Big boy on the inside as well. 6'4", 242-pound senior. Pardon me, he's on the outside, defensive end. Cougars going quickly here. Deuce to the 2 sides. Motion. Handoff Venerable. Makes one move. Makes another miss. Takes a bit of contact. Angry runs from Amari Venerable. A very nice pickup on second down. Looks like a gain of about 8.
A 4 and offensive flair.
And there is an injury on the field. It looks like Brant Hickson, starting receiver for the Cougs, senior, number 8, is down on the near side of the field here, kind of in that pack of Cougars you see here on the near sideline. And he's up and now walking off under his own power, accompanied by the great trainers here at SXU. Dan helping him off the field. So the Cougars will return to the field. 3rd and 2 is the official measurement from the near hash. A little bit of a huddle to slow things down from St. Xavier. 3:09 and counting on the clock in the first quarter. Ross going under center. 2 fullbacks in front of Venerable. Ross, met immediately but gets away from the pressure. Ross firing deep downfield, and it's caught! It's caught by Pringle. He's down at the 1. What a play from the Cougs on 3rd and short. Ross on the rollout right avoids the pressure, and instead of taking a check down or running it himself, he says, "Coach, I got you. I'm going to throw it up because I know Justin Pringle's down there somewhere." 37-yard completion, and it's 1st and goal from the doorstep. Cougars looking to answer back. What a play on 3rd and short. 2 running backs in the backfield, little Wildcat formation. Venerable gets the handoff, gives it to Pringle. Pringle on the sweep, trying to get in, and he does! Touchdown, Cougars! Justin Pringle on the jet sweep. Play Chelsea Dagger. Cougs are on the board. Cougars digging deep into their bag of tricks. Get the first down of the evening on a trick play on the what looked like a punt. And then the big throw to Pringle, and he caps it off on the jet sweep to make it a 7-6 game. Bet us on for the PAT. Pacelli will hold. Snap. Hold is down. Kick is up. Kick is good. We are tied with 2:08 to go here in the first quarter. 7-all at Broussard Deaton Memorial Field. Justin Pringle, the 1-yard touchdown. After the big 35-plus yard play. What a good play by Pringle. Going back to that pass from Ross there on 3rd and short. Creating separation from the defensive back, high-pointing the football, bringing it in amongst a sea of bodies.
5:45 in the second.
And the Cougars have made this interesting. As we noted at the top of the broadcast, if you're joining us late, this is a battle of top 15 teams here in the NAIA. Indiana Wesleyan enters this evening number 5 in the country after the first reshuffling of the polls. Cougars fell 2 spots after the loss to Marion a week ago. Marion ranked number 6 in the polls. Cougars started the season number 13 in the NAIA rankings. Bennis ready with his kickoff team. Campbell, and it appears it's Gibbs back joining him now on the kickoff. Ben is on the approach and sends it into the night. Campbell will return it from about the 10-yard line. Crosses the 15, now to the 20, makes a move, 25-30, and he'll be brought down just short of the 35-yard line. Looks like he'll be spotted at about the 32 or 33-yard line, and the Wildcats will now look to answer an eventful SXU scoring drive. Both of these teams like to operate out of the gun. We've seen a little bit of pistol looks from both sides as well. As we noted, first-year head coach Andrew Rode coming from Morningside. Morningside, a high-powered offense. They were 35-2 in his tenure as OC there. Won a national title as well. There's the snap to Stokes, hands off to Williams, going left. Williams is met at the line, leans forward and picks up maybe a yard, perhaps 2. Darian Williams not afraid of contact at all. Not the biggest guy either, listed at 5'10", just short of 200 pounds, $193 according to the roster. Stokes in the gun, Two receivers at the far side. Williams gets the handoff, but he's brought down immediately. What a beautiful play by the Cougs. That looks like Finn Brandon getting through the line and wrapping up Williams before he can get any kind of momentum moving forward.
Looked like that was Marcus Griffin again.
And just like that, it's 3rd and long. 3rd and 9 from the 34-yard line. And they'll spread it out. 4 wide receivers for the Wildcats. And there's the snap. Free play, but no flags fly. Stokes getting chased down to the near side. Thrown. Barnett breaks it up. Now the Hankies come out. Barnett's going to get called for defensive pass interference. A trio of Hankies came out immediately. Wildcats were assuming that was a free play. Admittedly, I think we were up here as well.
Pass interference. Defense, number 21. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic, first down.
Also looks like they might have gotten the wrong number. That was called on Kevin Countryman, even though Barnett was there for the deflection. So it'll be a 15-yard walk-off, fresh set of downs as we wane into the final minute of the first quarter.
First and 10, Wildcats.
It'll be 1st and 10 from their own 49. But we thought it was a free play. Defensive tackle Arroyo looked like he jumped, but officials never called anything. Still a good play for the Wildcats. Stokes will flush out of the pocket. He's running to his right. There's going to be a hold on the play. And Curry downfield. They were jostling for some position, but it falls incomplete. And the Wildcats should get tagged for a hold here.
All the Wildcats. Which will be holding next to Wildcats.
By Obama Arroyo.
Holding. Offense, number 63.
And that's the center, Will Angel, getting tagged for the hold.
First down.
So that'll back up the Wildcats 10 yards. It'll be 1st and 20 now for the visitors. If you're watching at home and wondering, wow, these color schemes look vastly similar. Wildcats with the red and gray uniform concept, very similar to that here of St. Xavier University.
In the house.
The crimson, or the scarlet and gray, pardon me. No crimson around here. 48 seconds to go in the first quarter. 1st and 20 now after the hold. Stokes in the gun. 4 wide. Hayes, the tight end, motions into the line. There's the snap. Williams up the middle. He runs the hash and has an opening. Williams runs and takes it across the 40. Williams was nearly untouched running up the hash. Perfectly executed play by the Wildcats.
Looks like Nick Schultz got him at the end.
Schultz will take him down according to the PA, but it'll be a fresh set of chains. Gain of 20+ on 1st down. What a run from Dadarian Williams. Motion coming here from the receiver out to the near side. Now a trio motion as Williams joins Stokes in the backfield. He's in the gun. Should be the last play of the first quarter. Stokes looking to the outside for Curry on the bubble screen, and he'll gain a few yards. Might be a gain of about 6, and that will take us to the horn. The first quarter will come to an end here at Broussard Deaton Memorial Field. The Wildcats are driving, but we're tied 7-7. We're going to step aside for a brief break. We'll be back with you here for second quarter action in just a moment right here on the Cougar Sports Network. Some Windex up here. Welcome back, everybody. Second quarter action about to get started here from Bruce R. Deaton Memorial Field. Ron Luce on the call with you here this evening on a beautiful night for some NAIA college football. 7-all here if you're joining us late. Indiana Wesleyan opened the scoring on their second offensive drive of the game. Cougars followed it up with help of a little bit of trickery. This will be 2nd and 5 now for the Wildcats on this drive. Tidwell in motion on the far side. Stokes dropping back. Pressure coming. It's a screen to Williams. He has to jump up just to get it with one hand.
Screen pass to Williams.
Not a perfectly designed screen by any means.
Looks
And
like he might have gotten the
executed
first
for
down
just enough. That should move the chains. It should be 1st and 10. There has been no motion to move the chains. There it is now. So it is 1st and 10. 1st and 10 from the 28-yard line going in. Stokes snap a little high, hands off to Williams up the middle. Williams, and looks like he's tripped up as he makes his way through the chaos of the front 7. Williams able to slide forward, gain of 9 on 1st down. It'll be 2nd 1, maybe 2nd and 2 officially here. And they'll keep it moving quickly. Stokes in the gun. Stack on the far side. High snap. Ball's on the ground. Williams able to pick it up and at least avoid disaster, but that's a couple of high snaps now from the center, Will Angel. And that'll lose, it looks like, 1 yard or 2. So 3rd and short becomes 3rd and maybe intermediate, about 3rd and 4 coming here as the clock continues to wind. Stokes in the gun, joined by Gibbs now in the backfield. And a 3-man movement, the tight end, and Tidwell and Curry join them. There's the snap. Stokes on the handoff, and Gibbs is eaten up by a pack of Cougars.
Number 55 was there.
Murphy, Brandon, Barnett, and Anderson all in the neighborhood.
4th down on that.
4th down coming, and it looks like the Wildcats will go for it. This will be 4th and 4. 4 wide. Darian Williams back in the game. And a flag is called.
False start. Offense. Number 14. 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
That'll bring it up back.
Darian Williams is called for the false start. So that will back the Wildcats up. So now it'll be 4th and about 9. And they're still going to go for it. Full 5 to the near side of the field. A triple stack. And now they'll motion 3. Williams will remain in the backfield. Very creative offensively there. There's the snap. Stokes looking, pressure coming. He's got Hayes wide open over the middle. Hayes makes one miss, crosses the 10 before he's taken down. And a huge conversion there for the Wildcats. Lots of motion for this Wildcats offense, and in that case, might have rotated themselves into an unconventional matchup for their tight end, Tristan Hayes. And that's a beautiful pickup for 1st and goal. Stokes in the gun, they're moving quickly. Handoff to Williams up the middle, makes one miss before he's met by Finn Brandon and others.
5-yard line.
He'll be taken down at about the 5, gain of 3 or 4 yards.
2nd goal from the 5-yard line.
This Wildcats team has done that on a couple occasions now, been forced into 4th down and converted. Some bold decisions early here for first-year and first-time head coach Andrew Rode. 11:37 and counting here before the half. 3 to the far side, Stokes in the gun. He'll drop back, pressure coming, throwing the fade to the end zone, and it's out of the reach of his big tight end, Hayes. It'll fall incomplete, designed matchup there. Bruce Pendleton was on the coverage for the Cougars. 11:25 to go following the incompletion. This will be 3rd and about 5. It is a goal-to-go situation.
Chris Satterfield on the coverage.
2 to the far side, Williams to the left of Stokes in the gun. Motion from Tidwell. There's the snap. Stokes looking left, coming back to the middle, and he finds Tidwell wide open. Touchdown Wildcats. They answer the Cougars' scoring drive with one of their own, and will look to make it a 7-point game with the extra point coming. Really nice design concept there, kind of a levels concept for the Wildcats. Had Hayes running a in route from the right side of the formation, deeper in the end zone. And that opened Tidwell short on his own in from the left side, wide open to walk into the end zone for the touchdown. Clifton, snap and hold good, and he boots it through the uprights and all the way over the fencing behind the track.
Is good, 14-7.
So 14-7 now your score here. Number 5, Indiana Wesleyan on the board. 11:21 to go. Cougars still with a lot of time to march before the half. Certainly second half adjustments will be interesting, and probably already a few have been highlighted. For the Cougars defensively, one of them is understand and communicate the motion from this Wildcats offense. This Wildcats offense not afraid to give different looks, and when you motion as many guys as they do in those 3 set motion plays, you can quickly figure out what your defense is doing from a coverage perspective. You learn if it's man or zone. You learn if it's cover 2, cover 3. Gives a lot of insight for the quarterback, and especially with a senior back there like Xander Stokes.
Oregon beating Hawaii 17-0. Wyoming beating Texas.
That is a
7-3.
advantage indeed for him. Clifton will set up from the right hash, or pardon me, from the left hash, so near side from the camera view. As we noted, still a gorgeous evening here in the southwest side of Chicago. Bruce Ardeen Memorial Field is popping for the home opener. Clifton will boot this away. This will be handled by Pringle. He's across the 15 to the 20, has a couple blockers, crosses the 30, trying to make a move, but is brought down just on the other side of the 30-yard line by
26 yards.
a slew of players.
First and 10, Cougars.
And now the Cougars will look to respond. After both teams opened their offensive drives with not great results, for lack of a better term. Interception by Carroll ended the Wildcats' first drive on 3rd down. Cougars had to punt. Then it looked like the Cougars were going to have to punt again after the Wildcats marched. And that led to the trick play. There's the snap. Ross is just going to get rid of it. Hickson had no idea where that ball was. Good to see him back on the field, though, after exiting a little bit earlier.
Intended for Brant Hickson.
That play broke down a bit quickly. Looked like some internal or interior penetration got in Ross's face almost immediately. Forced the early throw. Certainly could have had Hickson. Hickson was starting to come open on the corner route. Empty backfield, 5 wide here for the Cougars. Ross looking left, feeling the pressure, stepping up and moving. Eyes downfield. He'll deliver a pass for Pringle, and even with some contact, it's caught. And that'll be a fresh set of downs for the Cougars. Nice play by Stuart Ross. In the last couple years, he might have panicked in those situations, feeling the pressure collapsing in on him, taking a sack. Instead here, feels the pressure, steps up and out of the pocket, keeping his eyes downfield, finds Pringle in the scramble drill. Nice play for Ross. Here's the handoff to Plunkett now on 1st and 10. Plunkett reversing field and running over the big boy.
Nice cut back there.
Deliver the hit. Robbie Hunter, who is all of 6'2", almost 300. And it's Jesse Plunkett. Lowering the shoulder. Plunkett, a 5'7", 185-pound running back. Might have only been a gain of a couple, but that'll certainly make a statement. Here's the snap. Ross rolling left, finding Venerable, and Venerable is hit, and that pass nearly intercepted.
Intended for number 4.
That was number 2, Clayton Mosher.
Bring up third down.
Good coverage from the outside linebacker. That'll bring up 3rd and 5 now for the Cougars. That Plunkett cutback, certainly a nice play, and still allows for a manageable 3rd and 5. 3 receivers to the far side. Quinn, Hickson, Pringle. Foster, the lone receiver on the near side. And there's a false start coming against Matt Olson. The Cougars center jumped.
Snap infraction. Offense, number 50. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
So now the
Back it up to the 42-yard line. Make it
penalty will make it a 3rd and long here for the Cougars, and it appears that'll change up what the Wildcats want to do defensively as they make a few personnel changes. Ross in the gun, joined by Venerable to his left. Still a bunch of 3 receivers on the far side for the Cougars. 10 and counting left in the quarter. Venerable in motion to the other side of Ross. And here comes Hickson on a jet. There's the snap. Ross immediately looking right. Throwing deep down the right sideline for Hickson and narrowly misses his receiver. That ball was almost there, but there is a yellow hanky down in the backfield. We'll get a word from the official here. This could be a roughing the passer call, but we'll find out. And it appears like it'll be on the Cougars as the officials discussing with the far sideline. Perhaps a chop block might be the call. Here's the official.
Block below the waist. Offense, number 4. That penalty is declined. 4th down.
So it's effectively a chop block from Amari Venerable is what the call is. Penalty declined, so the incomplete pass will make it 4th and 10. And here comes the Cougars punting unit.
Poselli back to punt.
Poselli back for SXU here after we saw Justin Pringle last time. 9:46 to go here in quarter number 2.
Wildcats to return.
There's the snap. Clean for Poselli, and a good punt gets away. Campbell has to retreat and catches it at about the 10. And he'll make one man miss. Now another. Coming from behind, though. Good work by the Cougs there on special teams.
Caught in the back by the Cougars.
It looks like number 12, Justin Barker. South Howland senior on the tackle. Really good work there.
Looks like it might have been Finn Brandon on the tackle.
So that will turn the ball back over to this Wildcats offense, who now on 2 consecutive drives have finished the drive with a score. Williams and Tidwell, respectively, on the last 2 drives. Empty backfield for Stokes. Receiver in motion on the near side. There's the snap. Looking downfield, delivering a strike to Hayes. He's brought down almost immediately by Carroll. But it will be enough for a first down. Gain of about 12 on 1st and 10.
Looked like Tyler Barnett was there on the solo tackle.
There's the snap quickly down to Darian Williams. Cutting to the outside, able to bounce it. Makes another miss. And his momentum carries him forward enough for a first down. To Darian Williams is a hard man to bring down.
Tackled by St. Xavier's.
Forward momentum there helped them get that first down. Made multiple men miss. There's the snap. High one, in fact. Williams gets the handoff and able to take it forward for another modest gain. Gain of about 4, maybe 5. Wesleyan moving quickly offensively.
Anderson, the tackle.
They'll send Williams to the sideline. Gibbs will set up behind Stokes in the pistol. 2 to the far side with a tight end. There's the snap. Handoff to Gibbs. He's up the hash, but met immediately
Carried by Gibbs.
Finn Brandon as well as Justin Yeasel in on the play for the Cougs.
Finn Brandon. That's about 3rd and 7 for the
So that'll bring up 3rd and about 7 for these Wildcats. However, we've seen they're not afraid to go for it on 4th down, so effectively have to think they'll operate with 2 downs here. Bunch to the near side. Stokes dropping back, looking for Gibbs. Oh, and Gibbs drops it, but it is ruled incomplete. That ball a hair high for the running back Gibbs. Isaiah Gibbs, a senior back as well. And so after the incompletion, no punter on the field. We'll see Xander Stokes and company remain out there. 4th and 7 and a big 4th coming. Cougars need a big defensive stand from their unit here. 2 to the near side, tight end to the far side. Oh, and it's a quick kick from Stokes. He'll send it away. An almost perfect execution. That'll pin the Cougars at their own 12-yard line. So Stokes gets the quick kick away. Cougars able to keep the Wildcats off the board for the first time in a few drives. And with 7:44 to go, the Cougars will look to answer and tie this game at 14 apiece. But they'll have to work from deep in their own end. Ball placed on the right hash to the near side of the field. 1st and 10 from the 12-yard line. Ross in the gun, 3 to the far side. There's the snap. Venerable with the handoff. It's a reverse. Here comes Hickson to the near side. And Hickson breaks through 1 tackle and is met by multiple Wildcat defenders. It is a positive gain of about 4. Cougars going into their bag of tricks once again.
On the carry.
And now Ross will remain solo in the backfield. 5 wide, 3 to the far side.
2nd and 8.
2nd and 8, the official call, so just a gain of 2. And it would have been a jet to Pringle, but a false start will be called against SXU with 7:07 to go.
False start. Offense, number 4. 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
So they'll back it up about 5 yards. That'll make it 2nd and about 13.
2nd and 13.
For the Cougars offense, still deep in their own territory. From the 10-yard line, 2 in the backfield with Ross. And another false start. That looks like Jesse Plunkett.
Offense, number 26.
So 2 big mental mistakes from the Cougars continue to back them up in their own territory. And a personnel change in terms of linemen for the visitors. Ross effectively operating from his own end zone now. There's the snap. Hand off to Venerable. He's up the hash, met immediately as he gets through the first wave. That was a nice hit. We'll try and get a number here in just a moment.
The 3rd 11 balls on the 11.
It's number 2, Clayton Mosher.
3rd and long.
Mosher been all over the place this evening. One of their leading tacklers. 21 tackles coming into the night. 3rd and long, 3rd and 11 here. Cougars will operate with 2 running backs to either side of Ross. Ross will check an audible. Play clock under 10. There's the snap. Ross looking to the near side, throwing a deep ball for Foster, but out of the reach of his receiver.
Pass intended for number 85.
So after the incompletion, it looks like the punt team will get ready for the Cougs and try to send this ball away once again as the Cougs will yet again rely on their defense. 6:16 to go here in this second quarter.
Poselli out to punt.
At the half, make sure to stick around for the performances from the cheer and dance teams. After the 20-minute break, we'll be back with you for second half action. Pacelli deep from his own end zone here. There's the snap, a little low, but no problem for the punter. And Mosher tackled immediately. Beautiful special teams play And that is once again Barker getting down there quickly for the Cougars. So no return. And although the Wildcats will start in Cougar territory.
It's a nice tackle by Benny Joss.
A really strong play there from Barker limits the damage. 1st and 10 from the Cougars' 44-yard line. 6:07 on the clock here for Indiana Wesleyan to work with before the half. Same offensive personnel. 2 tight ends this time, however, for them. Receivers are both to the far side. Pistol set, Stokes and Darian Williams in the backfield. Hayes motions out, handoff Williams, and Williams is swallowed up in the backfield. Jabari Anderson as well as Obame Orokoyo get into the backfield. Big loss of 4.
For the Wildcats.
Good penetration from the Cougars' defensive front. 5:42 and counting to go in the half. 2nd and 14. A hard count, not fooling anybody, and Williams swallowed up again. Good discipline from the Cougars' defense to not be fooled by the hard count. And the Cougars' defensive line was in Stokes' lap as he handed that ball off to Williams. That'll make it 3rd and what could be considered forever. Officially, this will be 3rd and about 18. We're going to tick under 5 likely before the play begins. 3 to the far side. Williams in the backfield to the left of Stokes. 3rd and long. There's the snap. Stokes looking to the right, feels the pressure and steps up, and he's brought down. Orokoyo, Curtis, and a slew of other Cougars in the backfield to greet Stokes. And for the first time tonight, we will see the punt unit for this Wildcat team. This will be number 9, Nolan Foley. Back to punt it away. Pringle, the return man here for the Cougars. Excellent defensive stand from SXU. 4:20 and counting to go in quarter number 2. Snap was low, but a wobbling sideways punt. And Pringle just let this be downed by the Wildcats at the 20-yard line. So more or less the effect of a touchback for SXU. Quality defensive series there for the Cougars. This Wildcats offense really operating on rhythm. And then in that instance, the Cougars did a nice job disrupting said rhythm. Made it a really tough drive there for the Wildcats. Cougars get it back, looking to redeem themselves on offense. Last series, sloppy. Number of false start penalties. 2 running backs join Ross. He drops back. The screen sets up for Plunkett. Plunkett is hit almost immediately. He might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. May have even lost a yard. Figure out by the official placement, and it looks like it is back to the line. So 2nd and 10 upcoming. That screen was immediately snuffed out by the Wildcats defensive unit. 5 wide, 3 to the near side for Ross. Motion from the far side. There's the handoff to Quinn. He'll take it to the near side, and he's tripped up. Another great defensive play. Guess who? Number 2, Clayton Mosher, has been everywhere for this Wildcats defense.
No gain on the play.
Once again, no gain for the Cougars. In fact, it looks like a 2-yard loss.
Be 3rd and long.
Be 3rd and about 12 for the Cougars. Plunkett in the backfield with Ross. Motion. Looks like Gundelsdorf. There's the snap. Gundelsdorf open, and he makes the catch.
Number 2, Mike.
Nice play execution. He got lost. That was a designed fake screen, and your receiver just goes out on almost a fade of sorts. We'll see what the placement is. Should be a 1st down. And indeed it is. So the Cougars move the chains. likely will try to operate in a 2-minute drill here. 2:39 to go. Once the chains are spotted.
Result of the play is first down.
First down, Cougars.
And there was a offsides call on the Wildcats. Penalty declined. Business as usual for the Cougs. 2:39 and counting to go here in the first half. Ross, botched play. Ross will just have to get rid of it and does a nice job there throwing to the feet of Ronnie Foster.
No gain, no loss. 2nd and 10. Cougar Nation.
It looked like a botched handoff. Ross was expecting the read to be giving to his right. Running back went left. Good job by Ross to not panic too much and just get rid of it. 2nd and 10. Venerable in the backfield. Motion coming from Gundelsdorf. There's the snap. Ross having to avoid pressure immediately to the near sideline here. Gets rid of it. And it's Gundelsdorf again, and he won't go down. Takes a number of Wildcats to get him. But there is a yellow handkerchief out on the field. We'll get a call in just a hot second. Could be a hold on SXU, not entirely certain.
Flag on the play is?
It looks like it might be against the Wildcats. A lot of finger pointing from the officials. Here's the call.
Multiple fouls on the play. Holding. Offense, number 65. Face mask. Defense, number 24. Those penalties all set. Replay the down.
So as you heard there from the official, face mask on the defense, hold on the offense. Those penalties will offset, so it will be 2nd and 10 once again. Only difference is with less time to operate, 2:19 left on the game clock here for the first half. A quick first half at that, where it's only 8 o'clock and not a lot of time stoppage thus far. 4 receivers for the Cougars here. 2 receivers to the near side here, tight to the line. Venerable in the backfield. Quinn in motion. There's the snap. More yellow hankies, more false starts, and it will be against the Cougs.
False start. Offense, number 50. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
That's the second false start variety penalty from the Valparaiso, Indiana native Matt Olson. Cougars center number 50. Had the snap infraction a bit earlier on that last drive. So now 2:04 to operate, 2nd and 15. Tad bit of adversity now here, and whistles. They're trying to get the clock going is the issue. And now they'll get that fixed. Clock running, 2 minutes left. 3 to the near side, 5 wide in total for the Cougs. Gundelsdorf, motion. Ross, snap to Foster on the screen. Foster able to turn up field. Not sure he got much of a positive gain. Looks like a gain of maybe a single yard. So it will be 3rd and long still here for SXU. Cougars at this point probably just trying to tick this down as much as possible to get to the half, only down a score. Again, 2 top 15 programs in the NAIA here tonight. And it looks like they will run this down as much as possible. Perhaps call a timeout at that point and try to dial something up on 3rd and long. .107 and counting. We'll be at about a minute once this timeout is called by Coach Feminis. And there is the timeout. So 1 minute exactly on the clock. Cougars will talk things over.
St. Xavier.
And this is a difficult decision to make here because you don't want to get too cute if you're the Cougars offense. You certainly don't want to cost a turnover this deep in your own territory. Ideally, it might just be a handoff of sorts or maybe another screen pass like we just saw to Ronnie Foster on the last play.
September 19th in lacrosse, women's soccer plays Bitterbowl University. That's up
Probably
in
a good chance
women's volleyball
that the Cougars again just want to wind this clock down, try not to give the Wildcats any opportunity. Cougars will receive the ball after the half, which certainly is likely being taken into account here in terms of the sense of urgency for SXU to do anything on this drive. Ideally, they want to limit the Wildcats' offense to any opportunities here before halftime.
Bears tomorrow at Tampa. Help us all.
PI guy reminding us that the Bears play tomorrow, and the lack of excitement, I think, from the crowd here, unfortunately. 1 minute to go here in the half. 3rd and 13 for the Cougars. 4 wide, 3 to the far side. Ross in the gun, joined by Chavers. And Chavers will get the handoff, and he'll rumble, bumble, and maybe stumble more so than anything for about a gain of 2, maybe 3. And a timeout was taken by
Defense.
Indiana Wesleyan, so they want one more crack at a scoring opportunity.
Game clock operator, please put 55 seconds on the clock.
So it will be 55 seconds from the snap. Cougars will likely punt here. Expect to see Joe Pacelli and company on the field coming out of this timeout. And as we noted, just as a quick reminder, Cougs are back home next week. It will not be under the lights like tonight is.
Angel Stuffed Crust Pizza.
SXU will play host to Madonna University. That game's set to get started at about noon. Hopefully if you're not able to make it out to beautiful Bruce R. Dean Memorial Field, hopefully join us here on the SXU Athletics YouTube page. And the Cougars will go on the road to close out September with a MSFA Midwest
scoreboard update.
Rivalry as
Knotted at nothing.
University of St. Francis down in Joliet.
Early third quarter. Michigan 14, Bowling Green 6.
And then we'll be back here for homecoming kickoff October.
10-3.
October 7th will be the Cougars against MSFA rival Judson University. The Eagles come. Homecoming, an incredible event here every year at SXU. Certainly worth coming out. Should be a beautiful day. If it's anything like tonight, a gorgeous night here on the campus of SXU. Pacelli back, low snap, but he's able to get it off. End over end punt handled by Campbell, and Campbell makes one miss. Has some room and is tackled before he can get to the 50. There's a flag behind the play as well. We'll get an indication as to what that is in just a hot second. Ball is officially spotted as of now at the 47-yard line of Indiana Wesleyan.
Return. Illegal block in the back. Return team number 30. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the play. 10-yard penalty from the spot of a foul. First down.
10-yard penalty from the spot, and the spot appears to be the 39-yard line, so it'll be the 29-yard line where the Wildcats begin this drive, and that certainly might change the game plan ever so slightly. Originally, it looked like they would be near midfield. Instead, considerably in their own territory to begin this drive. 46 seconds on the clock. Wesleyan with 2 of their 3 timeouts still. Each team has burned 1 here in the first half. 3 to the far side. No tight ends here. At least he's out on the field. Hayes is split out wide. There's the snap. Stokes dropping back. Looking left to the near side. He throws it up for Smith, but Pendleton was all over him, and that ball was out of the reach of the intended target. Certainly worthy taking a shot.
Nice coverage by the Cougars.
40 seconds to go here. Pendleton all over number 2, Isaac Smith. Smith, just a sophomore. 7 catches of 147 yards and a touchdown entering tonight. Stokes with the hard count. Cougars don't jump, so he'll check to the sideline. 2nd and 10. Stacks to either side. There's the snap. Out to the far side on the screen. Cougars do a nice job of filling, and trying to get out of bounds was number 11, Levi Tidwell. And it looks like he successfully did. So there's 34 seconds to go here in the half. Tough situation for Indiana Wesleyan. Again, things most likely different if they start this drive at the 47 like they were originally spotted. That penalty is certainly hurting them Trying to get anything going from a scoring perspective, even a field goal here. Stokes in the pistol, hands off to Williams. Williams with a nice gain as he crosses the 40 and is taken down right on the other side of the 45-yard line. And they'll move quickly.
Looks like Williams on a first down.
Stacks to either side again. Stokes dropping back, looking to his left. Feels the pressure, steps up in the pocket, eyes downfield. He'll take off with it, trying to make one man miss, and he'll slide to the ground with 15 seconds left. And they will stop the clock. Timeout taken here by the Wildcats.
Timeout. Wesleyan. Their second charge timeout of the half.
Realistically, Indiana Wesleyan will have one chance now to put the ball anywhere they want with that timeout left. 14 seconds.
Please reset the game clock to 15 seconds.
It'll be 15 officially.
Thank you.
So as a result,
stay tuned for our halftime entertainment.
probably two shots if they want to go for the end zone, unless
as well as the St. Xavier
the Wildcats just want to play for points. They can certainly do that here if they can get into field goal range. Clifton, a strong leg for the visitors, so as long as they get somewhere around or just within the 30-yard line, would expect him to come out and give it a try before the half. They'll need a big play here. Second and short, 3 officially. 3 will be split out to the near side. Hayes is joined by Tidwell and Curry. Stokes in the backfield, Dadarian Williams to his left. Second and 3, there's the snap. Slight rollout, coming back with a screen to Williams on the right side. And wisely, Williams will dart to the sideline. Gets out of bounds to stop the clock with 9 seconds. Also gives them a fresh set of downs to work with. They still have that timeout, so they could easily throw over the middle here and potentially get the ball into field goal territory. With the 9 seconds left, and it won't matter what down it is, they'll just go for the points. Or at least you would think they would, unless they want to get creative. Maybe they'll go for the end zone. We'll find out. 1st and 10. Trips to the far side. Stokes takes the snap, rolling to the right. Looking downfield. There's the throw. Little high for Hayes.
Stokes' pass is incomplete.
Carroll was right behind him. 3 seconds remaining.
For the tight end, number 41.
So an interesting decision has to be made here. Do you go for the Hail Mary in this situation? Or do the Wildcats try the unthinkable? They're definitely out of field goal range. If Hayes was able to bring that in, maybe you start to question the opportunity to kick. He would have been tackled at about the 30-yard line, right in the range probably for their kicker, Clifton. So now the Cougars will retreat a number of defenders, 3 to that far side. Say your Hail Marys. Here comes the throw. It's not going to get there at all. Good pressure from the Cougars. And that will take us to the half. Indiana Wesleyan 14, SXU 7. Stick around through the half. We'll see you on the other side for second half action in this top 15 matchup. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you here in just a minute right here on the Cougars Sports Network. Welcome back, everybody. We're about a minute away from second half action with this top 15 NAIA matchup. It's the Cougars home opener here at Broussard Deaton Memorial Field. 14-7 is your score. Indiana Wesleyan leading the Cougars. Top 15 battle, as we noted. Number 5, Indiana Wesleyan. Number 15, SXU.
So hopefully everyone's enjoying their Angelo's stuffed pizza.
And the second half should be a good one after a pretty tightly contested first half from both squads. Ron Luce on the call with you here. Cougars played a tight game last week against a very formidable opponent in the Marion Knights, who are one spot behind these Wildcats in the polls. And that ultimately led to a 7-point loss. 28-21 was your final of that game. And right now the Cougars down by a score here as we get ready to open up the second half. 14-7 is your score. Cougars will receive the ball first after kicking off to start today's game. So number 17, Mr. Josh Clifton, will come out and do the honors for the visitors. 15 minutes on the clock here for second half action.
Someone please refer to the person who's operating the drone. Drone cannot be on the field.
It looks like we're getting some intricacies. Cougars use
Pringle and Foster back to return.
some drones to do filming, and it appears the officials not fans of that. Nonetheless, Clifton lined up to kick this away into the night. Pringle, the deep man, and Quinn and he will split. And it's a high, short kick. Pringle will return it from just before the 10-yard line. Across the 15, 20, 25, 30. Pringle with space. And Pringle is forced out of bounds on the far side of the field, just short of the 40-yard line. Very encouraging return to get the second half underway in this top 15 NAIA battle.
Doing the return. Hold. Return team number 22. 10-yard penalty from the start of the foul. First down.
The Cougars will be backed up 10 yards from the spot of the foul due to a hold. So a bit of a damper on a good return from number 6, Justin Pringle. If you missed it in the first half, we noted Justin Pringle, your reigning MSFA Midwest Special Teams Player of the Week. He had a 100-yard kick return for a touchdown last week against Marion that cemented the honors. So instead of starting near the 40, the Cougs will start on their own 24-yard line. 1st and 10, 3 receivers to the near side. Ross in the gun, Gundelsdorf in motion to the far side. There's the snap. Venerable the handoff up the left hash. Venerable able to gain a couple of yards before being brought down. And that looked like number 10, Drake Deshetsky, the big interior linebacker. And Cougars will go quickly, 5 wide here, strong side to the far side. Ross in the gun. There's the snap. Ross, quick throw to the far side. That's Justin Pringle, and he'll get the first down and quickly get out of bounds. Move the chains. Cougs first down. Pringle coming into this game, the Cougars' leading pass catcher. 11 catches, 156, and 2 touchdowns entering tonight. He's already added to those numbers here. So far in this one, 3 catches, 48 yards, and that should be now 4 catches for a bit over 50. Quinn gets the screen here and is eaten up immediately. That's Mosher once again for the visitors. The junior linebacker having himself a night.
Might have lost the yard on that play. He's 2nd and 12.
2nd and 12, the official spot. There'll be a bunch look on the far side for the Cougars. Plunkett, the running back. Motion, yo-yo motion from the Cougs. Ross looking left, has to get rid of it. That's a hair over the head of his intended target. It was number 2, Mike Gundersdorf, Mesa, Arizona native. Unable to haul that high pass in. So as a result of the incompletion, it'll be 3rd and long.
For the Cougars.
Cougars have been slightly inconsistent on the evening, being able to connect with their targets. Lots of short passes, trying to get receivers in space, but this Wildcat defense all over those screen plays. Ross with the snap, looking right, comes back to his left, feels the pressure, avoids a sack, but he's taken down from behind. Clayton Mosher able to catch him. It was a positive gain, so it shouldn't be a sack.
Clayton Mosher, the 4th and long for the Cougars.
It was a gain of a yard by Ross, so still a good tackle nonetheless by Mosher, and that'll force the punting unit for the Cougars. First offensive possession of the half, ending in a punt. Pacelli back here for the Cougs. Campbell is joined, looks like, by Mosher on the return. End-over-end kick from Pacelli, low liner. Takes a little bit of a hop on Campbell, but he's able to haul it in. Across the 30 to the 35, and that's another great tackle from Barker. That's his 3rd special teams tackle on the night. Good return, though, from Campbell as he picked that up right around the 25-yard line. Got to about the 40. I think official spot will be at the 39 of Indiana Wesleyan. 12:29 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Cougars at the half had to have had conversations about these motion packages that the Wildcats use. Able to mismatch and create said mismatches because of that. Tristan Hayes, their tight end, really has been a weapon thus far for their passing game. See how the Cougars respond to some of these motion plays. Speaking of, there's Tidwell on the jet. Stokes in the gun. Handoff to Williams. Avoided the first line of contact, but he's met almost immediately at the line of scrimmage.
Might have gained a yard or two.
Good rally from the Cougars defensively. Terry Elias, among others, in on the tackle.
Number 40 for the Cougars was there, along with 17, Terry Elias, Tyler Barnett.
2nd and long. It appears 9 is the official spot. Throw outside to Curry, and he brings it in on a knee, so he's down at the spot of the catch. That'll be a gain of about 4, maybe 5. So 3rd and intermediate.
Looks like 3rd and 5 for the Wildcats.
It'll be 3rd and 5 officially here for Indiana Wesleyan. Stokes looking to the sideline for a call. Four wide for the Wildcats. There's the snap. Stokes looking left all the way, and that is found as he finds his intended target, Levi Tidwell. And that will be enough for the first down.
Levi Tidwell. That's good enough for a Wildcat first down.
Tidwell before that, 2 catches, has one of the 2 touchdowns on the evening for these Wildcats. And they'll move quickly, bunch to the near side. Stokes immediately looks for Curry on the screen. Curry able to get up the sideline and out of bounds. Good screen design there by the Wildcats. That should be another fresh set of downs.
Tristan Hayes.
And it indeed will be. So 1st and 10 here for the Wildcats at the 36-yard line. And now a whistle comes in. And it might be a chain issue.
Timeout to reset the change. Should be 2nd down and 1.
And so the official on the far side originally signaled first down, which is not the case. So it will be 2nd and 1 officially after that gain. So nearly a first down on consecutive plays for the Wildcats. 10:32 to play here as they'll move quickly. 2 tight ends in on the near side. Curry Tidwell split out to the far side. Pistol set. Motion from the tight ends. Oh, and a false start.
Flag on the play.
That'll be against the Wildcats. Looks like one of their 2 tight ends jumped early.
False start. Offense. Number 43. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
And that is indeed the case. That is tight end A.J. Schaefer. has been used quite a bit this evening as that second blocking tight end in complement to Tristan Hayes. Schaefer, a freshman from Lima, Ohio. Rough penalty there makes it second and intermediate, 2nd and 6 officially. Stokes in the gun. There's the snap high, but gets the handoff to Williams, and he's sucked in immediately by the Cougars. Defense there limits the gain to just 1, and this will be a big 3rd down. That false start penalty
Ryan Butler.
could really affect the outcome of this drive.
Bring up 3rd and 5.
Wildcats will move quickly as they refer to the wristbands on their arms with the play sheets. A bunch look of sorts to the near side. Tidwell in jet motion to the far side of the field. Stokes in the gun. There's the snap. Stokes looking left the whole way. Throws a bullet, and he finds his tight end Hayes, and that'll be a 1st down.
Pass is complete to the tight end Hayes, number 41.
Hayes has been a safety blanket all evening long for Stokes.
1st down for the Wildcats. We have an official's timeout.
And an official's timeout. It looks like Hayes might have gotten a little dinged up
For an injured offensive player.
on the tackle. His helmet off as he walks to the sideline. By rule in the NAI, he has to take at least 1 play off. If you lose your helmet, you have to come off the field for a single play. So as a result, that'll bring on one of their other tight ends. This is the junior Isaiah Hayes. He'll come into the game at least for this play. Pardon me, that's Isaiah Hasey. There's the snap. Stokes looking to the far side for Smith. Has him on the bubble screen. Not much of a gain there as he's forced out of bounds. That's the cornerback Kevin Countryman coming up to fill.
Stokes' pass is complete.
And they might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage if there's any gain at all.
Might have been Smith on reception, hit immediately by a Cougar. Looking for a number.
And Tristan Hayes is back on the field, so he's all good. Just had to come off for the helmet popping off. No harm, no foul. Good to see everybody healthy and back up. 3 to the near side. Gun look here for the Wildcats. 8:47 to go, 2nd and 10. There's the snap. Stokes drifting back, and that pass is deflected off the hands of Dadarian Williams. Cougars number 43, Ryan Fitzgerald, all over that running back screen. It deflected off of Williams' hands and harmlessly fell incomplete, but if there was another Cougar in the area, certainly was a ball that was there for the taking. It looks like we had a Cougar come off the field with an injury. It looks like Nico Uriarte, number 33, defensive end. 3rd and 10. Stokes looking to the sideline for a call. He'll check with his offensive line. 2 receivers to either side. There's the snap. Stokes looking to the left. Here comes the sack. Cougars got him.
Number 45 got there first, Marcus Griffin.
Marcus Griffin
Junior.
got in there quickly, as well as a slew of Cougars. Number 32,
Looks like a loss of
Chevelle
6
Clements,
on
the
play,
freshman, also in the neighborhood.
4th down.
4th and 16, and they'll go for it. This will be a quick kick. You can already tell by the formation. There it is. And they'll look for this to bounce into the end zone, but nicely fielded
Stokes' punt is down
by the receiver. It looked like it might have been number 85. If that was the case, it would be Carter Huffman, the junior. Playing that like a true special teamer. So the Cougs will start this drive, and if they plan to score, it's going to be a 99-yard march if they're going to do so. They'll get the ball in their own 1-yard line. Got to operate carefully in this situation. Really good execution on the quick kick by the visitors. Still just a 7-point game with 8:02 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Cougs in the gun, 2 running backs, all 3 receivers to the near side. There's the snap, handoff to Venerable. Needs to get out of the end zone and just barely does.
Around left end. Picked up maybe half a yard.
So Venerable avoids handing 2 points in possession to the Wildcats. Cougars still jammed back in their own end. Just narrowly got that out of the end zone. And Plunkett will now come off the field. Gundersdorf checks in. 4 receivers in the back join Ross. Motion. Looks like Pringle. Ross dropping back. Pressure coming. Has to get rid of it. Does. And just sails that pass out of play on the far side. Pringle was in the vicinity.
Ross had to get rid of it.
But nothing there. And it looks like they're going to call intentional grounding, which if that's the case, that's a safety. Intentional grounding in the end zone results in a safety. And now the Cougars are all huddled around the officials trying to get an idea of what the heck's going on. Officials are huddling. We'll get the official word here in just a hot second. And it will be a safety given the response from the Wildcats defense.
Intentional grounding. Offense, number 16. That penalty occurred in the end zone, resulting in a safety.
And that is 2 points for the Wildcats. So at the end of the day, it actually comes back to help Indiana Wesleyan. After the beautifully executed quick kick, and it results in 2 points and possession. So the Cougars will have to punt this off. For those at home that might not be familiar, the Cougars will give the Wildcats incredible field position. So big adversity here, and some of the Cougars coaches are still conversing with the near umpire, trying to get an understanding of that call. We've seen that almost exact throw a number of times from both quarterbacks tonight, more so Ross than Stokes. Unfortunate for the Cougars that they decide to call it when they're backed up in their own end zone. So the Wildcats have an excellent opportunity here, folks, because now it is technically a 2-possession game. And they could make it 3 due to getting possession back. So in the NFL, this would be a punt off. In this case, it's a kick at the collegiate level. But Bennis has to kick it away from their own 20. So this becomes incredible field position. Almost guaranteed. If this gets any kind of good return from either Gibbs or Campbell, Wildcats could very well be looking at possession in Cougar territory to start here with 7:14 in the third. Bennis getting ready to kick it off. And the lefty will begin his approach. And a good kick. Gibbs will handle this on the near side of the field. To the 35-40. Breaks through the first line of defenders and is ultimately tackled. Looks like they'll give him the spot of the 49-yard line, and there's an injured Wildcat down.
Looked like it was Chris Swain.
Chris Swain on the tackle, number 23. Rotational linebacker here for the Cougs.
On the field.
And now a injured Wildcat will be examined right here on the field. We're going to step aside for a brief breather here during the injury. We'll be back with you in a hot second right here on the Cougar Sports Network.
Terry Sylvester.
Welcome back, everybody. The injured Wildcat being assisted off the field. Looks like he might have sustained an ankle injury. Hopefully he's okay. Number 30, linebacker Terry Sylvester. But he is up and walking with assistance. Certainly good to see. 7:08 to go here in the third. SXU's defense needs to make a big stand here after the safety. Ball will be spotted on the 49-yard line of Indiana Wesleyan. We mentioned that really good starting field position. And they'll have a heavy look to start. 2 tight ends. A motion here to the left side of the formation. Pistol look from Stokes and Williams. There's the snap. Play action. Stokes going deep. Has a man. Can he get him? And he did. What a catch. Beautiful play. That's Caden Curry on the reception. And the deep shot on play action pays off.
Stokes' pass is complete.
And just like that, the Wildcats are knocking on the door. In the red zone, ball placed on the 10-yard line. And they'll move quickly. Hand off to Williams up the middle. He leans forward and will gain a couple. Official gain of about 3 yards, maybe 4. That'll bring up 2nd and goal. What a deep pass. Excellent adjustment there from Caden Curry to haul in that throw. Stokes with a nice throw to lead him open as well. And just like that, huge opportunity for the Wildcats. Smith in motion across to the right side. There's the snap. Fade to the end zone. Good coverage there. It looked like Kevin Countryman shut down the fade route. Number 11, Levi Tidwell, the intended receiver for Stokes. 6 minutes to go here on the clock. 3rd and goal now.
Looks like Countryman was on the coverage there for the Cougars.
And A.J. Schaefer checks in here. 2 tight end look. And it's Gibbs in the backfield. There's the snap. Handoff to Gibbs up the middle. Gibbs leaning forward. And it looks like he's just short of the end zone. So this will bring up a 4th and goal to go situation, I think from the 1-yard line. We'll see where they spot it in a second. He tried to lean forward. Good defensive stand from the Cougars, but now they got to keep him out of the end zone. Darian Williams is back there. Official spot looks like the 33-yard line. 4th and goal. Heavy look from the Wildcats. Stokes under center. There's the snap. Handoff Williams. He leans forward. Did he get in? No. No, they marked him short. That's a turnover on downs on 4th and goal to go. Wow. What a defensive stand from the Cougars. Williams leaned forward, looked like he broke the plane, but they said when his knee went down, the ball had not yet crossed. We are talking inches, folks, from that being a score. Now the Cougars need to avoid the situation that they just had with the safety almost in this exact same spot. But wow, did the Cougars defense step up and make a big play. You have to respect the decision from the Wildcats to go for it there on 4th and 3 yards. The running game has been able to get that all night. What a stand from the Cougars. 5:11 to play. Ross in the gun. Cougars with 3 to the far side. Ross trying to get away. Has to get out of the end zone, and it looked like he did. Very dangerous play there. Stuart Ross in desperation mode, just trying to get out of the end zone, and does. Again, trying to avoid handing another 2 points to the Wildcats here. Been a very interesting game tonight. Heavy hitting matchup between these two NAIA powerhouses. Cougars will try to do something on 2nd and 10. There's the snap. Pressure coming. Ross has to get rid of it. And it was tipped by a defensive player. It might have been number 7. Maybe Caleb Williams on the tip. Looked like the big DN got a hand up. So 3rd and 10. Ross was trying to get that to running back Jesse Plunkett on a little bit of a route out into the flat. 4:28 to go here in the third quarter. Big 3rd and 10 coming for the Cougs as they're backed up. Gundersdorf in motion to the near side. There's the snap. And they'll get it to Foster. He's able to lean forward, puts a shoulder down, doesn't get much. Might have gotten a yard, and that's probably being generous. So now as a result, we're going to see a punt from their own end zone. Have to imagine the Wildcats will bring jailhouse pressure here.
Long for the Cougars.
We're counting under 4 minutes to go in the third. Cougars have been unable to do anything of meaning offensively in this second half.
Campbell Smith back to return.
Pacelli will punt it away from the back of his own end zone. Good snap. Good kick, Pacelli. This sends Campbell back as he catches it over the shoulder. Makes one move, makes another miss to the 50, 40, 40. Crossing the 40 of the Cougars. Good return there from number 24, Neil Campbell. And once again, great starting field position for this Wildcats team.
2:20 to go in the third quarter.
And this Wesleyan offense, certainly good. Have to give credit to what these Cougars have done defensively so far tonight, limiting them to really 14 points. The 16, obviously a result of that safety. Cougars will need another stand here from their defense as Stokes and the Wildcats start in plus territory. Empty backfield. 5 wide. Stokes dropping back. Pressure coming up the middle from the Cougars, and he'll get it away. And that is dropped by Dadarian Williams. The shovel pass from Stokes.
Stokes' pass to Williams, I believe, is complete.
And it falls
But no
incomplete.
No gain on the play.
So 3:12 to go here. That was a dangerous play by Stokes.
2nd and 10.
2nd and 10 coming. Empty backfield once again for Stokes. Looking left, trying to set something up, and they got the tight end over the middle, and he is smacked immediately. That looked like Marcus Griffin getting a piece of him. And now we have an injured Cougar on the field.
Pass completed.
This might be Justin Yeasel. He looks like he's in an adequate amount of pain.
Timeout.
Or maybe 55. If that's the case, it's Ryan Butler. Redshirt freshman, Country Club Hills native. We'll step aside for a brief breather as Butler is 10-2 on the field. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with you. 2:59 remaining here in the third quarter on the Cougar Sports Network. Welcome back, everybody. Butler up and walked off under his own power, but still appears to be in a decent amount of pain. He'll be checked out by the trainers right here on the near sideline. 3rd and 8 here for the Wildcats. Dadarian Williams will join Stokes in the backfield, 4 wide, as Hayes goes in motion. And now Williams will split out wide to the far side. Empty backfield. Stokes looking to his right. Delivers a dart, and it's dropped. That's off the hands of Levi Tidwell. And that'll bring up 4th and a considerable amount of distance. You have to think Wildcats will go for it. They're out of field goal range, probably too close to the end zone to punt unless they do their quick kick special again, which we've seen at times. Two receivers to either side. Closed look on the far side. Stokes trying to work a hard count there. Nobody jumps. 4th and 7. There's the snap, and now a whistle.
Flag on the play.
That should be a delay of game.
Before the timeout, delay of game, offense, number 16. 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
And that is indeed the case. And that will bring out the punt unit now. So Cougars defense stepping up yet again, trying to limit these Wildcats offensively. Cougars need a big drive here to get some kind of momentum heading into the fourth quarter. Pringle will be back to take the kick. Foley will do the honors and punt it away. There's the snap. Clean for Foley, who nearly blocked as a Cougar Kevin Countryman got a hand in there, and now Pringle will call the fair catch. Cougars will start at about their own 19-yard line. And yet again, a good stand from the Cougars. Defensively, it'll be on the 20 officially. Impressive work so far from this Cougars defense, truly. This is a very good Indiana Wesleyan team, folks. They've had a good start to their season. Here's the snap. Ross getting away, gets it away to Gundersdorf, at least for a positive gain. And now they'll say it's incomplete as he was out of bounds.
Was intended for Mike Gundersdorf.
But this has been a high-powered offense for Indiana Wesleyan. They scored 24 against Valparaiso last week, 24-22, but 56 against Lawrence Tech in the opener. For the Cougars to hold them to 16 points this evening really is a tip of the cap to this Cougars team. But now the offense needs to give them some help. 2:20 to go here in the third. That's Quinn in motion. The snap, Ross looking to the near side, feeling the pressure, and there will be a face mask called on the sack. You saw it from up here.
There's a flag on the play as well.
Really strong play there defensively. It looked like number 5, Eamon Hicks.
Defense, number 75. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
And it'll be a 15-yard penalty, so fresh set of downs for the Cougars and some positive yardage. So a penalty certainly that Indiana Wesleyan wanted to avoid there. Cougars will try to take that penalty yardage and turn it into something productive. 4 receivers, 2 to each side. Motion Pringle. There's the handoff to Shavers. He'll turn upfield, takes a couple of hits, and he'll rumble forward for about a gain of 2 yards.
Got up for about a couple yards.
Shavers a really big running back, 5'10", 220 is the senior. Freeport, Illinois native. 86 yards and a rushing touchdown coming into tonight. Only had a couple of touches thus far. Empty backfield for Ross. Looks to his right. Now back to his left as he moves out to the far side. Dumps it off looking for Kyle Quinn, but just out of his reach. And as a result, that'll bring up 3rd down following the incompletion. Buck 32 to go here in the third frame.
Bring up 3rd and 8.
Shavers will remain in as the lone running back. We have not seen much of Amari Venerable in this second half. There's the snap. Ross firing, looking for Gundersdorf, but just out of his reach. Ross did not step into the throw at all and just winged it up there. So we will see the punt unit And Ross coming off the field with visible frustration. Had Gundersdorf open on the corner route, just unable to execute. It'll be Pacelli to punt this away for the Cougars, so another good defensive stand here once again for Indiana Wesleyan. Mosher, Campbell back to return. Nice spiraling punt. This will go over the head of Mosher as he touches it and now picks it up. Here comes Mosher looking for anything, and he's tackled at the 20. Now a flag comes out. And this could be against Indiana Wesleyan, further backing them up. What a beautiful punt from Joe Pacelli. Out-kicked everybody on the field.
Antonio Orozco. During the return, illegal block in the back. Return team, number 27.
And there is the penalty.
From the spot of the foul. First down.
Illegal block in the back. Against number 27, that looks like Cole Rainbolt, sophomore wide receiver. So that's another 10-yard walk-off from the spot.
Half the distance to the goal line.
Pardon me, that'll be half the distance due to the nature of where it occurred. So as a result, the ball will be placed on the 8-yard line, so the foul occurring at the 16-yard line. And now the Cougars finally working with some real estate behind them. That said, they've almost worked just as well in the short field as they have in the long field. Heavy look here to start the drive. Handoff to Williams. Takes it to the right, and he's dropped immediately on the edge. That looks like Terry Elias with the big tackle. No gain on first down. We're ticking under a minute to play, maybe one or two plays left here in the quarter. And we'll flip sides for the final frame of this one. Cougars defense putting on a show. Now they'll need some help from the offense. Wildcats looking to get back to their scoring ways. There's the snap from the pistol. Williams with the handoff. And once again, these Cougars are starting to fill on the run. He'll gain about 2. Maybe a yard and a half even.
Julius again on a tackle is there.
And they'll probably wind this down. Plenty of play clock to take this to the fourth quarter. Wildcats in absolutely no hurry here. It's 15 and counting on the clock. Three receivers to the far side. They might run one last play. And they will not. We head to the fourth quarter. 16-7 your score with the visiting Wildcats on top of your Cougars here in the home opener. We're going to step aside for a quick breather. Don't go anywhere. 15 minutes of football remain from Broussard Deaton Memorial Field. We'll see you in just a second right here on the Cougar Sports Network.
Why is it called a touchdown? Why is it called a touchdown?
Welcome back, everybody. Fourth quarter action about to get started as we have trivia going on over the PA. 16-7 your score. Wildcats are backed up deep in their own territory as we flip the field. 3rd and 7 for Indiana Wesleyan. Stokes in the gun. Hard count. Nobody draws. Here's Stokes. Pressure coming, and the ball comes out. And there's a flag. This might be intentional grounding. We're going to find out, but Stokes was tackled in the end zone on the blitz. Officials are huddling right around the end zone. This could be a humongous play for the Cougars to open the fourth quarter. Stokes was in the end zone when he was hit. So if they're calling this intentional grounding, because there is a flag, just like it happened to the Cougars, this should be a safety. And based on the reaction of the Cougars sideline, they think it is. So that 2 points would make this a one-possession game yet again, and it would be Cougar football. Now the question becomes, can the offense get anything going? Because we've seen them struggle mightily here in the second half. Outside of that scoring drive from Pringle early, we have yet to see any meaningful offense yet from these Cougars. Again, credit to the Wildcats defense. Here's the call from the official.
The fouls on the play. Illegal touching. Offense, number 57. That's going to be declined. Intentional grounding. Offense, number 16.
And that is indeed.
That penalty occurred in the end zone.
It's the safety for the Cougars. One possession game, and they're going to get the football back. The defense said, hold on, offense. We'll give you some help. And 2 big points in this crazy game. This is a massive drive upcoming for the Cougars as they can really shift the momentum in their favor. What a defensive stand from the Cougs. What a bold call from defensive coordinator Billy McEwen. Dialing up the blitz from the far side of the field. Might have been Terry Elias getting in there. He came in untouched. And Stokes had nothing better to do than just try to get rid of the football. Obviously, it resulted in the intentional grounding penalty regardless. But just 10 seconds into the fourth quarter, the Cougars are on the board with 2 more points. We have 4 combined points in the second half so far. If that was on your bingo card for tonight, congratulations, because that never happens. What a bizarre game this has been tonight. Cougars offense will take the field. Return team is out. Quinn and Pringle, the return men. Clifton will kick it away from his own 20. Gosh, don't you love football? It's such a crazy, chaotic, complex sport, and it gets you sucked in like this one tonight. This has been a good one so far. Quinn's going to return this from his own 20. Crossing the 30, 35, 40, and he's hit. Beautiful tackle there from Wesleyan. That's number 51, Brock Thomason. Looked like he might have had a lane to gain maybe 10 or 15 additional yards, if not for the nice special teams tackle. Cougs 1st and 10. This is a big drive. We've got Amari Venerable back on the field. Jesse Plunkett joins him next to Stuart Ross. There's the snap. An option. Oh, and it's a reverse to Pringle. Pringle's off and running, and he's going to get tackled, but there's a flag in the backfield. It looks like Plunkett might get called for a hold of some sort as he's pleading his case with the official. And given the fans' reaction, they are not happy. Here's the official word.
Illegal block in the back. Offense, number 26. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Still first down.
Certainly a lot of unhappiness from the officials and even the sideline for the Cougars voicing their displeasure. It's a 10-yard walk-off. It's 1st and 20 after the block in the back penalty. So the reverse would have been for a positive gain. 2 running backs once again join Stuart Ross. There's the snap. Venerable. Yellow hanky already out. This might be offsides. Oh, and there's another penalty. Number 98, Robbie Hunter, is going to get called for unnecessary roughness as he slung Venerable down to the ground out of play. And you might be asking, well, why didn't we see a yellow hanky? Well, the official that threw the yellow hanky also called the second penalty, and that's why he threw his hat. And actually, based on head coach Mike Feminis's reaction, this might be a sideline warning as the first penalty. Oh, no, it is not. All right, let's listen in.
Defense lined up and in neutral zone. Number 4. After the play, personal foul. Defense, number 98. 15-yard penalty. Both penalties will be enforced. Automatic first down.
So it's an automatic first down for the Cougs. Talk about a shift in momentum. You go from a 1st and 20 to now a fresh set of downs thanks to the personal foul. As we noted, that was on number 98, Robbie Hunter. Little extra juice out of bounds to throw Amari Venerable to the ground, and that's what drew the flag. Also an offside on the defense. So Cougars in Wildcat territory for the first time in a while. They'll look to get something going here. Ross in the gun. There's the snap. Quick throw to Pringle. On the screen outside, he'll dip his shoulder and is forced out of play. Might be a slight gain at best. It appears he only got back to the line of scrimmage, so no gain. 2nd and 10 upcoming. Cougars have really only tested these Indiana Wesleyan defensive backs once or twice on the night. A lot of short screens. Here's the snap. Ross looking left. Delivers a strike to Gundelsdorf, who avoids one tackle, can't avoid the second one. Neil Campbell with the initial hit. It's cleaned up by Drake Deshersky. It's Deshetsky, pardon me.
Picked up, looks like about 3.
So gain of about 3, 3rd and 7 coming for the Cougs. Remember, they are in Wildcat territory. Too far out of field goal range. Big 3rd down upcoming. Ross in the gun. Gundersdorf to the far side in motion. There's the snap. Pressure coming. Ross chucking up a prayer. Pringle wasn't ready for it, but there's going to be a penalty on the defenses. It looks like Campbell got a piece of Pringle, who was running the go. That yellow hanky came out almost immediately. Now, whether they call it holding or pass interference might change how this operates. It would be a 5-yard walk-off if a hold, which would still make it 3rd down.
Defense, number 24. 10-yard penalty.
Oh, pardon me, it's a 10-yard penalty.
First down.
Not a 5-yard. Excuse me. That's a first down for the Cougs. Wildcats continue to shoot themselves in the foot. Unnecessary penalties. And now the Cougars with another fresh set of downs. Ross alone in the backfield. Pringle in motion. There's the handoff to Pringle. Waits for his blocks, nothing home. And he might get a yard.
And about a yard or 2.
Naturally, Pringle being one of the Cougars' best playmakers, they want to get the ball in his hands as much as humanly possible.
For the Wildcats. Drake Deshetsky.
Deshetsky made the tackle on Pringle. Now it'll be 2 running backs with Ross, Chavers, Plunkett. 2 receivers out there on the far side. 2nd and 9. There's the snap. Pressure's coming. Down the sideline, looking for Pringle, just out of his reach. And we have a lineman down on the field. It's a Cougars offensive lineman. It might be number 72. That would be Matt Hughes.
Officials timeout for injury.
Incomplete pass. We'll talk about it in just a second. We're going to step aside for a quick breather. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back on the Cougar Sports Network. Welcome back, everybody. Injured Cougar down on the field. That is number 72, Matt Hughes. I certainly hope he's okay. Looked like he was grabbing his knee. Cougars offensive linemen wear the big, or as I like to call them, the Robocop knee braces. So hopefully that prevents any major damage, but certainly is never fun to get rolled up on in the pile. And he is up and gets a nice ovation from both sides of the field. Good to see him back on his feet. But he'll likely be done now.
That's number 72, Matt Hughes.
Not sure who the replacement will be, but it looks like number 66, Richard Jefferson, is out there on the field now. So we'll expect him to fill the role for Hughes. It'll be 2nd and 8.
This play. Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness. Offense. Number 50. 15-yard penalty. 2nd down.
And there was an unnecessary roughness penalty after the whistle on, that was the center, Matt Olson. That's his 3rd penalty on the night. So now the Cougars facing 2nd and 23. Quite the change of events. Unnecessary mental mistakes on both sides tonight. So the Cougars now backed up to the 49 of Indiana Wesleyan, and they'll move quickly. There's the snap, full house look. Ross feels the pressure, out to his right, looking for anybody, and he'll just get rid of it to Kyle Quinn in the neighborhood.
We'll bring up 3rd and 23.
So a 3rd and a mile here for the Cougars. That unnecessary roughness penalty, a real drive killer, it looks like right now. Still a lot of time left, and have to think the Cougars are getting into desperation mode, although a 4th and anything beyond maybe 8 or 9 yards is probably not reasonable. 2 running backs to either side of Ross. 3 receivers split out wide. There's the snap. Shavers on the handoff. He'll cut back. Spins his way across the 45 before a pile of Indiana Wesleyan defenders halts his progress.
Shavers on a carry.
Decent gain there, gain of about 4.
Down the 45,
so that'll make it 4th and about 19. And here is Joe Pacelli looking to pin the Wildcats deep in their own territory. Tough break there for the Cougs.
Pacelli out the punt.
Fortunate break for the Wildcats after their penalties kept that drive alive longer than they probably should have. Pacelli, end-over-end kick, looking to check it up. Mosher takes it from inside the 10, and he's across the 25 to the 30 before he's finally met. Nice return for the linebacker, Clayton Mosher. And that'll give reasonable field or starting field position here for the Wildcats. 11:25 to go in the 4th. Just a 1-possession game. Cougars defense has been fantastic all night, as have the Wildcats. Have not allowed the Cougars to get anything going on the offensive side of the ball outside of their lone scoring drive. 5 receivers, Stokes alone in the backfield. 3 will motion. Williams will join him as the running back. There's the snap, pressure coming. Stokes gets it to the outside on the screen. That looks like Smith, and he's able to rumble forward. Falling forward, his momentum carried him for a gain of about 9, maybe 10. And it was about 9 yards, so it'll be 2nd and short here.
2nd and 1.
And we'll tick under 11 to play. Can certainly tell how the injury to Aiden Voss has changed the Cougars' offensive game plan now with Stuart Ross back there. Lots of screens and short passes. And certainly Ross shaking the rust off after not starting the first 2 weeks. High snap handed to Williams. He'll barrel forward. Not much of a gain, but it will be enough to move the chains. Gain of about 2 on the play for Dadarian Williams. Williams having a very nice night offensively here. 114 yards rushing on 26 carries. Has a touchdown as well. Leading receiver tonight is Curry. 7 catches, 98 yards for the visitors. 2 tight ends, they'll motion to the near side. Stokes in the gun, we tick under 10 to play. There's the snap. Williams with the handoff up the middle, and he's absorbed immediately by the defense. Nice work there from the Cougars. Be no gain on the play, 2nd and 10. Ball spotted on the 47-yard line. Wildcats still in their own territory. Curry and Tidwell here to the near side. 1 tight end in the formation. There's the snap. Handoff to Williams. He rumbles forward, but Ron Carroll comes up to stick him. That'll be a 2-yard gain there for Dadarian Williams. 3rd and long upcoming.
Will be about 3rd and
Nick
8.
Schultz, Nate Curtis check into the game for the Cougars as well. Looks like they'll only rush 3. Two tight end look coming for the Wildcats as they check the wristbands for the call. Hazel split out wide. Schaefer in line. 3rd and 8. Stokes dropping back. Feeling the pressure. He goes down! Sack Cougars, and they might have the football. It looks like he'll be called down, but oh, it will be. It's a Cougars fumble recovery. Cougars ball. The strip sack. Terry Elias got in there, and that was number 45, Marcus Griffin, coming away with it. The Cougars defense strikes again, folks. 8:28 to go here in the 4th, and the Cougs offense starts with strong field position. If there's any time like the present to get a good, strong drive going, it is now. Stuart Ross and the offense need to help their defense, who have been phenomenal all night long. An Indiana Wesleyan offense that has been good to start the year. Empty backfield for Ross. He's looking. Plenty of time. He's got Gundersdorf over the middle. 1st down, Cougars. And a nice gain of about 15. And now the Cougars have life. The fans are into it. The bleachers are rocking. And now we have an injury timeout on the field.
Timeout for an injured defensive player.
That's number 92, Antonio White, the sophomore, grabbing at his ankle. So now the Cougars will have a moment to talk things over with 8:06 to play. We cannot state enough how good both of these defenses have been tonight. Indiana Wesleyan forcing the Cougars to call very conservative plays all night long, have only had the 1 scoring drive as White gets to his feet and walks off under his own power. But on the flip side for the Cougars, numerous takeaways. Interception from Ron Carroll, the strip sack is the latest defensive stand. A goal line stand from this Cougars defense. They have time and time again kept this Wildcats team from pulling away.
Thank you.
And now we ask, can the Cougars offense finally answer and support their defense, who has been incredible all night long? The Cougs are getting loud. And there's the snap. Gundersdorf on the jet sweep. Cuts upfield and spins forward for a gain of just a couple.
Gundersdorf.
We're under 8 minutes to play. Looks like an official gain of about 3, maybe 4. So this will be second and about 7, maybe 6. Ross in the gun once again, 3 to the near side. There's the snap. Ross looking, nothing home. He'll roll out to his right. And he's just going to take off with it and gain a couple yards. And now a yellow hanky. Somebody on the Cougars is getting called for a hold. Once again, unnecessary penalties have stalled drives for both sides tonight, or extended drives for the other side.
Offense, number 66. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Still, second down.
We love a hot mic. Sounded like Richard Jefferson asking the official, what am I supposed to do? So in case you're wondering as how the offensive line is rotated for the Cougars after the Hughes injury, Colin Cox has bumped down from left tackle to left guard. Alex Pavlev has come over to the left side to play left tackle. And Richard Jefferson is now inserted playing the right tackle spot.
So be about
Matt Olson, Amani Christopher still at their center and right guard positions respectively. So after the walk-off, it's 2nd and 16. Ross in the gun trying to get something going. Ross feeling the pressure, stepping up. He's going to take off. And he's going to be caught from behind, and another yellow hanky comes in toward the end of the play.
Number 11, Anthony Cheeseborough.
Cheeseborough able to take down Ross after a very nice gain, but another hold coming against the Cougars.
Number 69, 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Second down.
Now it is 3rd and a legitimate mile. .646 to go, and the Cougars got a lot of ground to cover.
Game clock operator, please put 7 minutes and 31 seconds on the game clock.
And they'll add a lot of time back. 7:31 is what the officials are noting here. So still 7.5 minutes of time to operate, but the Cougars have a lot of work ahead of them. This is 2nd and about 26, if my math stands correctly. Ross in the gun, 3 to the near side. Pringle in motion. Ross dropping, feeling the pressure, avoids a sack for the moment. Eamon Hicks was in on the pressure, and it appears there will be there are no intentional grounding calls. There was a receiver in the vicinity. So it will be 3rd in that same mile now for the Cougars offense. So it's 3rd down now. And there's the snap. Plunkett takes it with a head of steam. He's stood up. Doesn't gain much. That was Luke Bays on the initial hit. And now the Cougars will have to punt. Bad penalties will cost you games, folks, in case you didn't know. And those 2 holding penalties are a perfect example of that. Cougars were knocking on the door of the red zone. And instead now they will punt from inside Wildcats territory. Pacelli, clean punt. Nice spiraling look here is going to be handled by Campbell. And Campbell is knocked into immediately. He will not even get past the 10. So once again, the Wildcats backed up deep in their own territory. Last time this happened, the Cougars walked away with a safety and possession.
9-yard line.
6:35 to go here in the 4th quarter.
6:35 left.
A touchdown and a successful extra point try ties the game for SXU. Any kind of score for the Wildcats makes it a 2-possession game. Wildcats will come out. 2 tight end look. One of their tight ends split out to the near side here with 2 receivers. Stokes in the gun. There's the snap. Handoff to Darian Williams. Williams to the left side. He's got a head of steam. And a nice, respectable gain there. It might be 3 or 4. Hard to tell exactly from our angle. And now the Cougars sideline here starting to get loud. We're going to tick under 6 to play here after this snap. Pistol look. There's the handoff. It's Gibbs, and he's met immediately. That looked like Finn Brandon leading that charge. That is no gain. So just like that, it'll be 3rd and long. 3rd and about 6, maybe 7. And the clock will continue to tick.
3rd down and 6.
This will be a big 3rd down here. Assuming the Cougars can stand tall, it would be hard to imagine a world where Indiana Wesleyan feels comfortable doing anything other than punting this ball away. Home sideline getting loud. 5:20 and counting to go. There's the snap. Stokes dropping back. Screen! Run it all the way to the Cougs! Ron Carroll sniffed it out from the beginning. And that's a negative play. And here comes that punt team as they'll be punting from their own 4-yard line. Beautiful play recognition from the senior Ron Carroll. And now we tick under 5 to play, and the Cougars should have good field position. Perhaps the biggest possession of the game is upcoming. Foley in the back of his own end zone. Cougars will bring plenty of pressure. And here comes the pressure. Foley gets it away. Not a fantastic kick. Pringle fields it and gets up the sideline for a nice little gain. Cougars are going to be almost in the red zone to start this drive. And it will be at the 20-yard line. So the Cougars are knocking on the door. 4:21 to play here in the 4th.
Looks like Pringle got it down to the 20-yard line and a nice quick return.
Nice return from the do-it-all man, Justin Pringle. And the Cougars offense will now go to work. 1st and 10 from the Wildcats 20-yard line. Shavers to the left of Ross. Ross looking right, nothing home, feels the pressure, and he's sacked. That was number 7, Caleb Williams, getting in there first. Looked like he got a hold of Ross's ankle as he tried to avoid the pressure. So that'll make it 2nd and 11. Not a huge loss of yardage on the sack. Clock continues to tick. 3 to the far side. Motion, snap, Shavers, handoff, up the middle, runs a guy over. And he'll gain about 5 on the play. This will be a reasonable 3rd and about 6.
Looks like about 3rd and 5 for the Cougars.
Ball was officially spotted on the 17, it appears. So this will make it 3rd and 7.
So now it looks like it's 3rd and 6.
This is a big play here for the Cougars, likely 4-down territory. Quinn in motion from the far to near side. Ross looking, throwing to the end zone, wanted Quinn. Overthrows the intended receiver as that falls incomplete. There's 3:05 to go on the clock after the incompletion. And the Cougs will go for it here on 4th and 7. Certainly isn't necessarily the game, but a stand here for the Wildcats defense is certainly a major victory. Ross in the gun, 4 wide. There's the snap. Ross looking, pressure coming immediately, dumps to Chavers. He's got to get all the way. Can he? He breaks away! Touchdown Cougars! Matt Chavers breaks a few tackles! The dump off pass that looked like it was dead in the water is 6 points for the Cougs! And the offense is still on the field. Coach Feb says, damn the tie, we're going for the lead. Matthew Chavers with perhaps the play of the day, shedding the tackles, using that big 220-pound frame to rumble into the end zone. Cougs are going for the lead. The snap, Foster, reverse, Pringle, intercepted! Oh my goodness, it's intercepted! Bays is gonna take it out of bounds. Flags are everywhere. The Cougs tried to pull out the trickery.
There's a flag on the play.
And this should be PAT no good, meaning the Cougars will be down a point with 2:55 to go. They have all 3 timeouts. Way too much pressure came up the middle from the Wildcats defensively. Pringle and even Foster on the initial handoff had guys right in their face. The throw was good. Ross was open. That was a little Philly special for those that remember from the Super Bowl a few years ago.
Illegal block in the back by the return team. That's a 10-yard penalty and is declined by rule.
So the penalty's declined by rule because, well, nothing happened. PAT attempt is no good officially. So the Cougars will kick off here. One has to think the Cougs are going to go for an onside kick.
So this would be Indiana Wesleyan ball.
Humbly, if you don't go for an onside here, you're putting a lot of faith in your defense, who not only have to effectively force a 3 and out with 2:55 here to go, but you're probably going to end up burning most, if not all, of your timeouts. Head coach Mike Feminis in the special teams huddle here. But returning to the, effectively what was a version of the Philly special, Ross was open. Unfortunately, Pringle had a guy in his face and had to throw off his back foot. If Pringle is able to plant in that situation, Ross is probably catching the 2-pointer and the Cougs are up by 1. It just goes to show how important that defensive rush was from the Wildcats there. They were in the backfield almost immediately. Foster, I think, almost got tackled before he could even make the pitch to Pringle. And then Pringle had to retreat in order to avoid the guys in his face. So we will see an onside kick here. And the Wildcats will adjust accordingly. They have their hands team out there. Campbell up there, as well as Hayes, Smith, Tidwell, a number of their receivers. 6 to the far side for the Cougars. Could this be the game? Oh, and they will kick it off. And Gibbs is just going to fair catch it. Probably a smart move. No need to risk a turnover.
Fair catch will give the
So with 2:55 to play,
Wildcats 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line.
The Cougars said, we don't want the tie, we're going for the lead. And they're unable to convert on the 2-point conversion. So with 2:55 to go, it's Wildcats football. Both teams have all 3 timeouts. But the thing is here for the Cougars now, all you got to do is get in a field goal range if you can get this ball back. And if you're the Wildcats, the 4-minute offense is a beautiful thing. And you know they're going to run it here. Williams in the backfield, expect him to get the handoff. Stokes in the gun. Hayes in motion. There's the snap. Pitch outside to Williams. And he is swallowed up by the Cougars defense. Terry Elias, Tyler Barnett, both in the neighborhood. And it looks like a timeout is taken by the Cougars almost immediately.
Timeout. St. Xavier.
Timeout by the Cougars.
Of the half. Game clock operator. Please set the game clock to 2 minutes, 51 seconds.
So they will reset the game clock to 2:51. Was showing 2:49 here at Broussard Deaton Memorial Field. One hell of a play by the Cougars defensively on the pitch.
Top of the ninth. Covers Diamondbacks. Not up at 9. Colorado 7, Colorado State nothing. 8 minutes left in the first.
So with 2:51 here to go. Cougars took their first timeout. They have 2 remaining. And if they're able to force a punt effectively from the Wildcats here, they should be able to work with what we could expect is going to be somewhere around 2:20, assuming they can get out of this. We've seen the Wildcats come back from much worse this evening.
2nd and 14 for Indiana.
Heavy personnel here for the Wildcats. Fullback in, Williams the tailback. Handoff to Williams. He is eaten up immediately. Gain of maybe 1, and there's the timeout again from the Cougars.
Gain of 1. There's timeout, St. Xavier.
If you are not on the edge of your seat at home,
Their second timeout of the half.
I can tell you right now, everybody's on the edge of their seat here at Broussard Deaton Memorial Field. Most fans are standing, nervously swaying back and forth. The anxiety, the adrenaline, the excitement of what has been an NAIA classic of a football game this evening. It'll be 3rd and long now for the Wildcats. Conservatively, to run the clock, you would expect a handoff. However, it is 3rd down. They do want to convert. We will see here in just a second. They do trot out 1 tight end, but they're going 4 wide, and now it's an empty backfield as Williams splits out wide. 3rd and 13. Stokes in the gun. Empty backfield. Here comes the pressure. Stokes, quick throw, incomplete. And the Cougars are saving a timeout as a result. And now if you're the Wildcats, you have to punt. Almost have to. There is no other option here, and yes, here comes the punt team. 2:43 to go. The Cougars should have pretty good field position as a result. They also have 1 timeout to work with because of that incomplete pass. That is a very valuable nugget of information that we need to keep in mind here. Cougars are certainly going to try and block this kick. Foley's going to try to get it away cleanly. Good snap. Foley gets it off. High kick. And it gets a very favorable Indiana Wesleyan bounce, and it'll roll out a play at about the 39-yard line. So the Cougars will start in their own territory. 2:35. And with it being a 1-point game, the Cougars just need to get into field goal range for the left-footed kicker, Peyton Bennis.
.235 left.
What will the Cougars dial up
Cougars have 1 timeout left
here tonight? Ross in the gun, 4 wide. There's the snap. Ross lets it go. Pringle, and it's intercepted. Pringle was open but lost the football, and now there's a flag. Hang on a hot second.
There's a flag on
Jameis
the play.
Carson came away with the pick. We'll see if it stands.
Hands to the face. Defense. Number 7. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic. First down.
Wow! Hands to the face penalty on the defense negates the interception. Indiana Wesleyan thought they had the game in hand, and now instead it's 15 yards for the Cougs. Absolutely unbelievable. Terrible, terrible time for a penalty like that. That was Caleb Williams on the infraction. So now the Cougars are in Wildcat territory. Plenty of time to play with 2:29 to go. Ross the snap. Quick throw to Pringle on the outside. Looking for blockers. Running around, nothing home. And Pringle's going to take a loss on the play.
There's a loss of 3 on the play.
Head coach Mike Feminis visibly upset. In that situation, the last thing you want is to take negative yardage. And they'll let the clock continue to work. We're going to tick under 2 minutes in just a hot second. Second and long. 12 to be exact. There's the snap. Chavers the handoff. He's going to rumble forward and gains about 3. So the Cougars will be back in between the original chains. An official spot will be 3rd and 8. Cougars are working in 4-down territory at this point. $1:30 and counting to go in the game. Quinn in motion. The snap. Ross, pressure coming. Gets rid of it. Quinn trying to adjust, and an interception! No flags on the play here. Indiana Wesleyan has just secured the game.
Number 8, Preston Sykes.
The corner, Preston Sykes, with his 3rd interception of the season. And although the Cougars can take 1 timeout, it won't matter. Heartbreaking way for the Cougars to lose. They went for the win. They're in victory formation, are the Wildcats. But the Cougars went for the win on the 2-point conversion and came up empty. And on a last-ditch effort.
Timeout. St. Xavier. Their 3rd and final of the half.
And the final timeout taken by the Cougars. One final ditch effort as Ross throws the pick. And the clock will continue to run.
Wesleyan takes the knee.
So Stokes will take one final knee here as they tick under 40, and that'll be it. An incredible game here this evening as Indiana Wesleyan will advance to 3-0 on the year. Cougars will fall to 1-2 on the season.
Final score.
Heartbreaking loss for the Cougars here in their home opener. An incredible defensive game if you like defensive football. 16-15 your final score with the Wildcats walking away with the victory. Cougs are back here a week from today. It's a noon kickoff against Madonna University on September 23rd. We hope you'll join us here on the SXU Athletics YouTube page for that one. The Cougs will look to improve to 500 in that game and get back to 2-2. Following that, they'll open the conference slate. It'll be a road game against USF down in Joliet before returning home for homecoming against Judson University. An incredible football game here tonight. Top 15 matchup of these two clubs. Hard-fought game for both sides. Defenses were everywhere. 16-15 ultimately the loss here at Broussard Deaton Memorial Field as the Cougars drop their 2023 home opener. I'm Ron Luce. We'll see you back here in a week. Cougars fall 16-15 to the Indiana Wesleyan Wildcats.